Knee wraps. Let's talk about knee wraps. And the Hookgrip knee wraps, not the squat wraps, which are a new item they released not long ago, which I will also try in the near future. But these are the knee wraps and that have been selling for a while. And there's a lot to be said here because I have many reasons for doing what I'm doing when it comes to my knees. So the Hookgrip knee wraps, they come in some different colors, different sizes. The sizes mean how long they are, and I always bought the biggest one, the 3.5 meters, and there is a reason for that too. And I consider them the base layer of my knee accessory. Let's say it like that. So first thing first, about my knees. The most important thing for me when I'm training, considering my knees, is feeling safe. And what does that mean? Although it's not like I'm not having knee issues or knee pain. I have long femurs, long legs. I'm considered like a tall lifter build, even though I'm not even tall. I'm like 1.78 meters, and that's I think 5'11" in freedom units, and but I have long limbs, short torso, and I look like I have a long man build. So whenever I'm squatting, my knees travel forward very much, and there is a lot of pressure on my knees. About 10 years ago, I did have some more knee issues that I fixed. I was not training properly. I was having bad technique, like the usual stuff. But still, even though I don't have knee pain for like 10 years now, and there are no knee problems, everything is great, everything is fine. I can pistol squat cold, no problem. I do pistols twice a week all the time just to keep my knees conditioned. I do sissy squats. I can do anything. That's no problem. My mobility is great in the ankle. Everything is fine today, but still, up to this day, I need to feel safe. If I'm not feeling safe with my knees, there is always some insecurity, and that insecurity will have me not get under a clean. This insecurity will have me go slower on the eccentric portion of a heavy squat. Usually, if I'm not squatting with something around my knees, it will take a couple of reps, couple of sets maybe, to feel really great with my squat, really safe in a semi-heavyweight or heavyweight. It will take a few sets or reps until I squat down with the speed I want to. Up until then, I'll be like insecure, I'll take it slowly, and which is fine. So unlike, let's say, my elbows, I don't care. Like, I can bench whatever. I don't need anything on my elbows. My low back, I don't care either. I can pick up a deadlift. I'm never scared about my back. I did hurt my back a few times, but I never feel that feeling of, oh, I need to be slow. My back might, I don't know, twitch or something. I don't have this with my low back. I don't have this with my shoulders. My shoulders are actually never been hurt. They're absolutely great. And not my wrists, nothing. But the knees. Anything about the knees, I need something around them just to feel safe. And I'm always more about how much material there is around my knee than how tight it is. So up until lately that I've been starting to try knee wraps, like with knee wraps, powerlifting style knee wraps that are a little bit more bouncy. I'm still not using really heavy duty knee wraps, and I probably will never will because I don't compete in equity powerlifting. But I did wanted to see how it feels to do heavy cleans and heavy front squats and maybe even heavy back squats, although I don't see the point because I mostly want to clean heavier, and you can clean with knee wraps in competition, so why not use it? If that's something that might help, and it might help me because I have long limbs. My squat numbers are never really high, and my knee and my clean is always really close to my squat numbers, and it's my heaviest clean. I always stand up slowly, and if I can stand up quicker in my heaviest cleans, that will help my jerk and eventually like a heavier clean jerk. Anyway, off the point here. I'm sorry for the anyway, so what I care about when I'm wrapping my knees is how much material there is around my knee. That's what makes me feel safe. And only up until lately, I've been starting using heavier knee wraps, powerlifting style knee wraps. I ordered the squat knee wraps from Hookgrip, the new knee wraps they released. I will try them a little bit later this year when I'll start more weightlifting specific block. And that's something that I want to try with and play with the how tight I want it to feel, and just play with tightness. I've never played with tightness. I mostly played with how much material is around my knee because that's what always made me feel safe. So the Hookgrip Knee Wraps. I obviously ordered the 3.5 meters because I knew that I need more material around my knee. The more material around my knee I have, the safer I feel, the better my technique is. I go faster downward, I get under cleans more, like feeling safe. I go under them faster. I don't have an issue with insecurity about going to full depth in anything related to my knees. And using the Hookgrip ones, I consider them the first layer, the first base. They give me enough support and enough security. Let's call it security. Maybe there's a better word for it, but for heavy snatching and semi-heavy cleans, semi-heavy squats. So I'll put them almost every time I'm doing weightlifting. After using the knee sleeves, I'll be using the knee wraps. I'll be using knee sleeves, 7mm or cells, and I use them. And the knee sleeves give me a tiny bit more security. Like it feels like there is a bit more material around my knee. So whenever things gets heavier, I use knee sleeves instead of knee wraps. So when I'm cleaning, you will usually see me with knee sleeves. When I'm squatting, usually knee sleeves. Another layer is when I'm using the knee wraps and I'm putting the knee sleeves on the knee wraps. That's when I'm going for 1 reps. Like not for snatching. Snatching, I'm staying with knee wraps and that's it. I don't need anything above that. The weight just doesn't scare me for my knees. But heavy cleans, 1 RMs, like absolutely heavy singles, I'm wrapping my knee and I'm also putting a sleeve on it. Not so tight that I need to take it off between sets or during the workout, because again, I don't really care about how tight it is. I need it to be wide. I need to have a lot of material around my knee. It doesn't hurt my mobility because again, I'm a long limb lifter and my joints, my joint angle going for a squat is more extreme than people that are maybe a little bit better built for squats. And so even if I wrap my knees and putting a sleeve on, still I go as deep as my body possibly can, even with these things around my knees. So it doesn't hurt my mobility, maybe hurt my speed a little bit getting under a clean, but it's worth it because I am faster when I'm feeling safe. So still, safety matters more for me, everything that considering my knees. So I'll still go for that setup. So wrapping my knees and then putting a knee sleeve on. That goes for heavy singles in a clean, heavy singles in a front squat. And back squat, it really depends how the back squat is set up in a program. If it's like a little bit of a heavy work, heavy singles after those cleans, I'll leave that setup on my knee. If the back squats come before or separately from heavy cleans or front squats, then I usually just use the sleeves because I don't really see the point of putting those two base layers. And again, it really depends on like what's the point of the cycle, where I'm at, and does it worth it to put like 5-10 kilos more for that working set of back squats, or it doesn't, because it's not like I will get stronger. It just I can show more weight on the bar because I have that setup on my knee, and it does help me put on more weight. Maybe there is a rebound effect. Probably it's a lot of material around the knee, so probably there is some effect to it. But that's not the reason why I'm putting those knee sleeves. I'm putting them because I feel safe, or that setup, not knee sleeves, that knee wrap plus a knee sleeve setup. I'm feeling safe, and that gives me better results. So here you go, a background of why I'm using all this gear for my knees. And there are not many brands that sell this kind of sleeves. I don't know where weightlifters get their knee wraps. Sorry, I'm going to confuse those words pretty frequently, probably. They're like old school white grayish knee wraps. I don't know where they get them. Hookgrip is probably the only store where I saw this kind of knee wraps. They are not. They have some rubber in them, but not too much, and you can just put them on and leave them on for the whole workout. They usually don't slip until like maybe half a year or more of use, when the ends it just gets a bit ripped off, like the rubbers start to rip off, and it doesn't hold that well. Up until then, they don't really fall off, they don't really slide down, and I love them. I consider them like the first layer, like I said. I have like reds, blacks, whites, and they're pretty cheap. And another reason why I like using knee wraps is just out of like the general feeling, the general of being a weightlifter. Like when you're going to your workout and you warm up, then you start wrapping your knees. There is that process of doing this, of like having those things to put on your knees, so putting the shoes. It makes me feel more like a weightlifting athlete. It makes me feel like I'm an athlete, and doing that process each weightlifting workout makes me feel better. It's just nice, and that's another reason why I like them very much, and I'll use them almost for every weightlifting session. Even when I'm doing CrossFit, I just enjoy the process. I just enjoy like getting ready, putting on my knee wraps, putting on my shoes, my wrist wraps, getting ready for the snatch or the clean jerk. It just feels nice. And I also like to do it in competition. It feels nice. It feels like I'm an athlete. I'm not like a elite weightlifting athlete, but it gives me that feeling, and I like it. So that's another reason why I started using them, and I'm using them since then. So I don't really know any other brands that sell this kind of knee wraps. Mostly other brands sell heavier knee wraps, heavier like with more band tension. But these are really, they don't have much band tension. They don't really help you getting more weight on your clean or squats. They don't really do anything. Well, at least I didn't feel, until you put a knee sleeve on them, and then they do a lot. But by themselves, they don't do much, but they still give that slight tight feeling on the knee, which feels nice. It's probably increasing proprioception, probably gives you a safer feeling, and you can wrap them tighter, you can wrap them lightly. If you really go overboard wrapping them like if they were powerlifting wraps, they'll get destroyed pretty quickly. I have a friend who's a shot putter, and I gave him a pair, and he was wrapping them like really tight. Like he was pulling that wrap really, really hard, and they got absolutely destroyed within like a few weeks. So they're definitely not for hard, tight wrapping. Probably that's why Hookgrip released the new squat wraps, which I'll definitely try. They have a harder material, uh, more like more bend into it, more like a powerlifting style knee wraps, but still lighter than a powerlifting style knee wraps. So I'm really excited to try them on, and I really think people usually avoid knee wraps like those because it's taking time to put them on. But honestly, if you're doing weightlifting and you enjoy your sessions, most of the time, if you see people that take their weightlifting seriously, let's take the top athletes out. Let's just take regular people who enjoy their weightlifting and take it seriously. Most of the time, those people spend pretty much a lot of time in the gym anyway. They'll have long time sitting around talking with other people, maybe I don't know, resting between squats, stuff like that. Usually those people spend their time in the gym anyway. Sitting around and taking 1 minute to wrap the knees isn't really a big deal, and I don't think that's a good reason. I do recommend you to try them. They offer, it's like having a nice, comfortable, secure providing, proprioception providing layer of something on your knee and not having it naked. Like it's not a knee sleeve. You can get it tight as a knee sleeve, but I don't recommend it. And it's not a knee sleeve. It's not a heavy duty knee wrap. It's just like a light version of them all. And there are also those light knee sleeves, the Chinese knee sleeves, if you know them. Hookgrip also sells them. I did try them. The only thing I didn't like, they do give the same feeling like those knee wraps, but they fall off pretty quickly, and it's pretty annoying. And I really didn't like it. They always fall off. They always slide down. Other than that, they're great. They're a little warm. This will also probably give you a little bit of warmth if you're wrapping your knee with something, yeah, with a material. So it probably will give you some warmth. But when you're wrapping your knee, and I'll add a video of me wrapping how I wrap my knee. Doesn't matter if you wrap it tight or not, you can always close it tight. So you can always wrap the last 2 rounds a little bit tighter, and then get the end of the knee wrap under it and just secure it, and it won't fall off. Like if you're getting used to it, it won't fall off. Sometimes maybe it will in a long session, maybe you didn't get it tight enough, maybe you just need to practice a different way of getting it closed, but it definitely doesn't slide down, and that's the annoying part of those Chinese knee sleeves, which other than that could be great. So that's why I prefer the knee wraps than those knee sleeves. But other than that, they're pretty similar. Really nice light feeling on the knee, and I do recommend people, especially with weak legs, in weightlifting, people who are weaker in their legs, weaker in their squat, try the combination of knee sleeve and the knee wrap. First the knee wrap, then the knee sleeve. I've seen some elite competitors that put a knee sleeve and powerlifting knee wraps on the knee sleeve, and that's something I also want to try. Still didn't, but the knee wrap and the knee sleeve on it gives a really fucking nice feeling for heavy cleans and heavy squats. Obviously, in powerlifting, you can't do that. That's illegal. And you can't use those knee wraps in powerlifting also. Probably illegal in most federations. Maybe some federations allow it, but not that I know of. And for CrossFit, you probably don't want to get used to it. If you're doing solely CrossFit, you don't want to get used to them because you probably rather just put on knee sleeves and get used to knee sleeves, because you'll have a lot of equipment anyway, and you just want to use the same thing you would use in competition. And if you're not competing in weightlifting, you're not going to use knee wraps. Like, you can't compete in CrossFit with those knee wraps, and you can't compete in powerlifting in those knee wraps. So it's mostly intended for weightlifters. So if you're doing weightlifting, and if weightlifting is part of what other things you're doing, but you're taking it seriously and you're competing in weightlifting, or just really love it, I do recommend to try those knee wraps and the combination, which is like amazing. Probably people who are very built for squatting will feel like it restricts them too much, and those people don't really need that much support, and usually they don't feel the insecurity in their knees like I do, and probably maybe other lifters with long limbs or tall lifters. So definitely something I recommend to try out, to play with. It's not expensive. It's about $24 or $25 for a pair. It's really cheap. If you destroy them quickly, you can always buy another pair in a few months. It's not that much. It doesn't cost that much. And that's it. I hope that gave you maybe some ideas of how to use the knee wraps and the combination of the knee wraps and the knee sleeves, and the reasons of why you might want to try it. And yeah, I'd love to try other companies that sell this kind of knee wraps. I just don't know them. So the only ones I know are the Hookgrip ones. So yeah, I recommend them. And if you're already taking those knee wraps, take the long one. I don't see the point of taking the short ones. I think they sell from 2.5 meters, 3 meters, and 3.5 meters. And if I'm not wrong, you can also buy custom ones that go up to 4 meters. I don't know about the 4 meters, but definitely, unless you're like maybe a really tiny build person, maybe a woman, maybe like you're sub 60 kilos, man or woman, maybe you're a teenager. Other than that, you'd probably want to get the longer one, and in worst case scenario, you just wrap more area of your knee. So like if I'm wrapping, let's say this is my knee, and I'm wrapping this area of my knee, and if I feel like, if I don't know, if I order maybe 5 meters and I feel like it's too much material around my knee, which I probably won't because I like having more material around my knee. But if I would, I could just go maybe a little bit longer on my leg, and then there will be less material on each part of my leg, and I could still use the longer knee wrap. So I don't see the point of ordering a short one. Better order a longer one and just maybe cover more area with it in case you don't feel comfortable. It's better than ordering the shorter one and just seeing that it's not enough for you, or covering too little of an area. I don't know, but just go with 3.5 in my opinion, unless you're a really like light person. Didn't mean to say short, light person. Anyway, thanks. Hope that helps. Hope that gives you ideas. If you have any more questions, comment below. I'll answer anything related. Thank you very much. Until the next one.